What is going on, everybody? It is episode 624 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. We are back from the weekend. I heard that it's Masculine Monday in the chat, which confused me because we do have every woman in the studio right now. Dane Font.
Hello, everyone. Dane Font here, masculine woman.
See, those are gone.
It's very Pride of you.
Yes.
Happy Pride Month, by the way. First show of Pride Month. We're going to be celebrating it today. Cheers.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Cheers. I'll do a cheers with my Zin.
What are you proud of? Prideful of?
I am proud of all of my crisis actor children.
I don't know where the fuck that came from, but okay. Okay.
By the way, we put up a poll that is really important. Brett wants you to vote no, but I want you to vote yes. Should we review The Acolyte? I know that some people would want us to review it.
Look. I think it's 8 episodes. The episodes
it's low investment.
The episodes are supposedly only 30 minutes long. Cost like $180 gazillion to make. So let us know in the chat.
Easy to dunk on it.
We will abide by said poll results when this is done. Also, just a heads up, guys, the crisis meter does seem to be down today.
Yeah.
The crisis meter is having a case of the Mondays. I will keep an eye on Superchats so that I can set off the crisis meter manually, as I am able to do once we reach the goal of $100 every time we hit one. I will.
It's kind of like a participation trophy.
Kind of, yes.
We do have the technology.
Yes. So, guys, just be aware of that. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we got a bunch of stuff to get into. But before we do that, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. If you are new here, we really, really appreciate it. We got a lot of engagement recently from segments. We're hoping that more people come in here to find the live show as well as the segment. So thank you for that. Share these videos with your friends. It is the best way to help this show grow, is to just share it out with everybody and let them see it so they can share it with their friends. And remember, all Super Chats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion, and we will read those Super Chats right then and there. Those will not be hampered by the by the lack of a crisis meter today. We will still be able to do that.
We'll pay close attention.
So go for that, guys. We appreciate it. So what are we talking about? Well, it is Pride Month, as Mary said, and the celebrities are out in force once again, virtue signaling, as you are wont to do every June 1st. So we're going to talk specifically about this incident where Adele kind of told off, I guess you'd call it a heckler, at a concert for saying that Pride Month sucks. You know?
Which it does.
So we're going to talk about that. We've got Katy Perry. We've got other various virtue signals. So we've got that. Also, Eminem is once again in trouble with Gen Z because, you know, they don't really get it or understand him. He's being called racist for making jokes about Megan Thee Stallion getting shot in the foot. So, you know.
And misogynist.
Yeah.
I think that's misogynoir.
Yeah.
Right?
That's nothing new. It's the angle of racism that is.
He's transphobic against cats.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Also, guys, we have an article that has a very, very strong and important message for all of you. Boyfriends, do not be your girlfriend's cameraman. If she has a strong presence on Instagram, just don't do it. Yes, exactly.
Hold up that fist.
In solidarity.
For all the
gentlemen.
boyfriends of Instagram out there.
Don't do
but,
it.
you know, if you put up with that behavior, which many of these guys do, you almost deserve it.
Just a little behind the scenes. I was interrupted mid-psychotic rant before the show came because I have thoughts on this issue.
Yeah.
You have lots of feelings to express, but I said, hey, wait, use your feelings for content.
Yeah.
Correct.
I will be validated live
So we
on
will
air.
we will talk about it. So if you guys are ready, then it's chill. We'll just get right into it. Mary, you ready?
Let's go.
Dane?
Yes.
He's ready. All right. Bad news. First of all, depending on your stance on this, it looks like the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight has been postponed because Mike Tyson is like a gazillion years old and had an ulcer flare up on a plane.
Yeah.
And so now they're going to push the fight from July 20th into Q4 over at Netflix. So looking at like December.
I desperately need this fight to be suspended.
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, I can't live if Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson.
I mean, it's not the win you think it is. There's like a 20-year age difference.
No, I know, but
or more.
But it's like we respect nothing in this society. if we have a former Disney Channel influencer,
I forgot about that.
knock out America's Greatest Warrior.
Bro, the Bizarrevarks actor just beat up Mike Tyson.
I can't.
There's a good
Mike
chance this is
Tyson.
going to get canceled.
By the way,
I know they're saying it's postponed, but I think there's a good chance this could get canceled altogether.
this is no disrespect to Jake Paul, like Jake Paul's talent. Like, he's a very talented fighter. However, we all know what would happen with Mike Tyson in his prime versus Jake Paul.
Yes.
It
Sure.
would be a body bag.
Yes.
Yeah, but
a
now
body bag.
it's a fair fight.
Now
because-
it's a
Tyson's
man in
old.
his prime against a senior citizen.
Yeah, but there's still a match.
And we're allowing this.
There's still a match because Mike Tyson is just that impressive that even as a senior citizen, he can fight a young guy, and it would be a fair fight.
He's still scary to watch train. Like nobody.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
know.
Yeah, so I don't
yeah.
understand why people are commenting things like Jake Paul should pick on someone his own side.
He should.
This is shameful, blah blah blah. Like, they are still a fair match in my opinion. Not like I'm an expert, but like Mike Tyson is just that impressive as an old person that he is still a fair match for a young guy.
Mike is still like really, really big. And,
Yeah.
and muscular, and it's crazy.
But they
and-
might
and very
cancel
fast,
this.
so.
They might cancel
I
this
don't
if it
know,
gets worse for him.
See, here's the thing. I wonder if Netflix is using this as advertising to investors, can you really afford to cancel something like this?
Both of them can.
I don't know. No, I'm saying I don't think Netflix can afford
Netflix,
to.
no.
I don't
No.
think Netflix can afford to have this thing canceled. And if they've signed contracts, it would have to be something pretty dire to
Also,
get him out.
Mike Tyson claims that he's in better shape than he has been since the 90s.
Mike,
Press X to doubt.
it's not true.
I mean,
It's not true.
With all of these
That's a
things,
big cope
with
right
all of
there.
these things being, a lot of people believe these fights are rigged because they're not because they're exhibition bouts. So it's a lot different than like a standard fight. But I thought this one was actually endorsed by the league. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with it. But I would rather see Mike Tyson in his prime fight him.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't.
Yeah, can we
can't
get
do that.
on some adrenochrome or something?
We could do
you
that.
know?
Pull all the stops.
If he ends up biting Paul's ear, we know it's
That would be
it's
awesome. I
rigged.
mean, it wouldn't be awesome, but it'd be something.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be funny.
So that might be canceled. Something that definitely was canceled is Jennifer Lopez's tour. Unfortunately, she found out
Unfortunately.
people don't care about her music anymore. Then she was like, "Oh no, it's a greatest hits tour."
Well, first it was the whatever the name of the tour
It was her Benefer 2.0
Yeah. And then nobody
Enterprise, and no one cared. And then she was like, "Oh, I'll play the hits," and no one cared. So now she's just canceling it, supposedly because she needs more time with her family. Variety published this awful op-ed about that cancellation, saying it shows society's twisted pleasure in seeing strong women fail.
What you have to do here is you have to take order of importance. Yes, she is a woman. Yes, I suppose in society, being given her success, she would be considered a strong woman. Is she a nice person? That comes before all of that. So the more logical conclusion here is that JLo is known for being mean to people. She's known for being a prima donna and being rude. I think that plays a greater role in why people would be happy to see her fail than her being a strong, independent woman.
That's a good point.
Listen, there is stereotypes and there is facts. Okay? And Puerto Rican women are intense. Fact. Statistically.
Yeah.
Okay?
Intense with a negative connotation, you mean?
There is a gradient of which I believe she is on the lattermost gradient
Yeah.
of insufferable.
I think a lot of people were preying on the downfall of Benefer 2.0.
I mean, if you're like on your 7th divorce,
what are the odds?
it's probably
It's not looking good for you.
not all 7 of them.
So they said society seems to reserve the worst of its venom for powerful, successful, talented women. We decide we don't like a public figure anymore without really knowing why. Why do we do this to women so often?
By
Is
the
it
way-
because the fairer, weaker sex makes an easy target? Is it because we somehow resent the fact that women gave all of us life? Is it because science continues to prove that women are actually stronger than men in nearly every way except usually physical strength, and there's some desire for control or putting strong women in their place?
Sorry, brief interjection, but very important. The author's name is Jem Aswad.
Aswad.
Aswad. How else would I pronounce it?
Thank you, Aswad, for your very valuable
Jem
input
Aswad.
in this conversation.
How seriously, how else do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Aswad?
Aswood.
Aswood?
Yeah.
Aswood with an A?
Wood.
Aswad.
It's probably Aswad.
Aswad.
Yeah, it's Aswad.
None of what that person just said is true. At least not in this instance, not for this specific example. You could probably name 100 artists that people would be very sad to see. I would be. I imagine. Who did she perform with at the Super Bowl recently? Was that Shakira?
Yes, I
Is that her and
believe so.
Shakira? I bet you people would be sad. I personally, given the tax hero that she is, would be sad if Shakira canceled the tour. Not that I would ever go see her in concert, but I would be sad for that. But when you're known as being a diva and rude to everyone, it's going to be very hard for people to be sympathetic. It's order of importance. I don't think her being a strong woman has anything to do with it. Her being a celebrity plays more of a role in that than anything else.
Yeah, they said this seems a likely perfect distillation of the amount of thought, let alone logic, that goes into the kind of hateration that JLo and so many other female public figures are receiving right now. It's not hard to imagine that syndrome playing a major role in many other successful women being brought down a peg after a majority of people decide they just don't like her, not least the defeat of Hillary Clinton by her unapologetically misogynist opponent in 2016.
We just like put Hillary in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know these levels of white feminism were possible in 2024.
Oh, I don't know.
Thought that fell out of fashion.
I don't think Aswad is a white woman.
Aswad.
Gem. Yeah. I mean, like, there's plenty of female artists. Madonna just finished up her tour, right? She just had her tour conclude.
But
just
we
the
do
other day.
love seeing videos of Madonna falling
Yeah.
on her face.
Yeah.
We do
but
love
it's not
that.
because she's a strong woman. It's because she's old and out of touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a million reasons you can this is what I hate about the current culture. It kind of goes to the Eminem topic too. There's a million reasons you can dislike someone that have nothing to do with their genitalia or their sexual orientation. In fact, it takes more work to hate them for other reasons.
I went on
impressive.
I went on a rabbit hole yesterday on Instagram, and I'm pretty sick of like the satanic ritual concert performances.
What do you mean sick of them?
Like the Troye
There's
Sivan
so
thing.
many.
Troye Sivan
there's so
simulating
many.
oral sex at his concert
I mean-
during Pride Month.
No, I mean, like people are like drawing pentagrams and stuff and demons of blood. It's like
Yeah.
it's cringe, it's lame, and if it's like actual satanic stuff, it's like uncouth.
You could argue that that wasn't cringe and lame at one point in time. I think it always was. But you could argue it was at least unique
Who's the biggest male
in the last century.
Who's the biggest male musician right now? Like
Oh.
solo artist that you can think of?
Maybe The Weeknd?
I guess. I mean, I don't even really think of him. Yeah,
It could be him.
Drake.
Drake. Okay, yeah, okay. That's a perfect example. People love seeing Drake get taken down a peg too.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so it says, it's hard not to imagine some troll-like people wake up every day, reach for their phones, and just pray for videos of Taylor Swift, the world's most successful and ubiquitous entertainer of any gender, face-planting in mid-strut on stage of a sold-out stadium. That has nothing to do with gender. People just like to see celebrities fail. They will always like to see celebrities fail.
She's the most famous ubiquitous.
That's the
person
word
of her
that's-
gender?
That's the word that they used.
That's a bold
In
claim.
pop culture, yeah. Taylor
No
Swift
way.
is the biggest.
Oh, Taylor. I thought they meant Jennifer Lopez.
Taylor Swift.
No,
not
Taylor
Jennifer
Swift.
Lopez.
I was like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
People love
Yes.
to see celebrities fail. They do. And that's because a lot of them today, I think a lot of that also goes back to the fact that we have a ton of access to celebrities now. So they say stuff that makes us roll our eyes. So you're a lot more willing to be like, yeah, you deserve that when you lose her. There is a certain point where some artists hit critical mass and it just feels inorganic. Taylor Swift felt like that over the summer for a little bit, where it's
She
or over
still does.
over the winter, where it's like this can't feel organic to everyone. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's not my place to say. I'm not a marketing man extraordinaire. But the point being that their fame. Oh, somebody says Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen is very
true,
successful.
true.
And when he went to jail, a bunch of people were happy to make fun of him and say that he's not a good role model.
They just love to see the white man fall from grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it goes across genders, obviously. But, you know, when Mike Tyson has a stomach ulcer flare up, I see an outpouring of sympathy for him.
Well, that's
and people actually sending hate to Jake Paul.
Well, that's because they're secretly cheering. They're cheering one over the worst choice, which is Jake Paul.
It's an effed up situation. He's an old man.
And Mike Tyson has done a lot of work to he's more known to Gen Z as a podcaster than he is as a boxer.
He's very much present of mind, though. This isn't elder abuse. Like he knows what he's signing up for.
Correct.
So I don't really feel bad for him.
But I don't think a guy like that who used to be, you know, the Attila of the Hun or whatever the fuck his name is of his era, I don't think he can resist the urge to go back into the ring.
He needs the glory.
Like you're a star. You
I mean, that's what all pro wrestlers are like that.
Yeah.
They retire like 87 times. They're like, this is my last match, but then it's like the payday's too good.
Till
so they
WrestleMania.
Come back. Well, yeah, no, even Stone Cold didn't come back for like 20 years, and then he came back at WrestleMania last year and had a good match with Kevin Owens, and now he's like, okay, I've made my money. I live on a farm. I live in a ranch. I've got my life together. I don't need to wrestle anymore. But he put off the desire to do so for over 20 years, and he still came back that one time. Most of them can't even wait that long. Edge retired for half a decade or a decade, came back, and he's been full-time for years now. When you're a celebrity, you get addicted to that stage presence.
And Edge did it because he was going to be immobile.
Yeah, because of his neck.
Doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, they used to say that like the WWE doctors back then were a lot more like risk averse. They don't want to, they don't want some dude getting paralyzed live on TV. So they're like, you can't.
Now we do.
Yeah. Now they're like, look, the stock's in the tank. That's actually not true. WWE stock is actually, well, I don't know what it's doing right now, but for the last couple of years, it's better than it was before they were a publicly traded company. But so yes, I don't think it has anything to do with JLo being a strong woman. I think it's because she makes Ben cry and everybody else has hearsay stories about how awful she is.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think Eminem's comeback is also chasing former glory, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later. All right, it's time to move on. So you guys have heard of polyamory. Well, we've got something even worse for you.
Tolyamory, yes. I'm sure you've heard of consensual non-monogamy and polyamory and polycules, entire pods of people that you sleep with. But now there's a new term for people who turn a blind eye to being cheated on, basically. It's cuckoldry as a sexual orientation.
Do you remember last Friday when I said one of the biggest problems in society right now is we have to name everything?
You have to label everything.
Everything has to have like a clinical sounding name. This doesn't need a clinical sounding name.
Yes.
Brief interjection. Is this going to be about having tolerance for people who cheat?
Yes.
Yeah, having tolerance specifically for being cheated on. Yeah, which just makes you a cuck. Yep. Basically. So this term was created by relationship columnist and podcaster Dan Savage. Being polyamorous means that a person is, quote, willing to turn a blind eye to a lap dance or a brief affair after years of marriage.
But obviously Dan Savage.
They instead focus on all the ways their spouse demonstrates their commitment and shows their love to somehow make the cheating tolerable. These people aren't fools or dupes. They're not to be pitied. They know what they signed up for and long ago made peace with what they got. They're willing to put up with it, a certain amount of it, reconciled to it, willing to tolerate it. They are, in a word, polyamorous.
Okay. In a betting market, what would be the odds that Ben Savage cheated on his husband and is on the Giant Cope tour?
Well, he's straight, right?
No.
I think Dane was just making a point by saying
he's gay. He's gay, right?
So
I don't know who
he
Dan
left
Savage is.
a comment about his spouse named Terry. So I don't know if that's a female or male Terry.
Sounds
But he
like a
said,
man.
obviously Terry is allowed to ogle and not just ogle other men in front of me. It's the secret to our success.
Is this the guy that's always on Bill Maher?
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe.
so I'm pretty sure I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ogling is that's so
And more than ogling.
okay, so that, if he would have stopped at ogling, there might have been you're allowed to look, but you're not allowed.
There's looking and there's ogling, though.
Exactly. Those are
those are different.
very different things. Those
Yeah.
are very different things.
Yeah, so it's a way of maintaining your relationship but not endorsing the non-monogamous behavior. And this kind of relationship is common, probably unfortunately the most common form of non-monogamy, because it's not consensual.
It's also dishonest inherently, because usually they would find out after the fact. The guy doesn't go, hey, honey, I'm going to get a lap dance. I'll see you in a couple of hours. He comes back smelling like glitter and lip balm. And then
Comes back smelling like Victoria's Secret bombshell.
Correct. And then she has some pointed questions for him.
Dude, I feel like the world is in, it's kind of split in half. It's all sorts of binaries, but there's a binary that seems to be, religious people that adopt kind of attempt to adopt the morality of their religion of choice. And then there's the other half of the binary that is complete disregard of that, and kind of whereas the first binary used to have the insistence of people kind of following their way of life. For some reason, they've kind of let go of that proselytizing, or I don't know if that's the correct word, of that insistence that their way of life is the adequate one, and that people kind of, I don't know, that marketing aspect of it. Whereas this side of it is rampant in insisting that their intellectually inconsistent point of view, like how does I'm going through it live on air. Like, for example, I'm trying to think. So these are the Tolyamory people I feel spiritually are the same people that would be on Me Too.
Okay. In what way?
They just hop on trends.
Yeah, no, but it's all. Oh, so Me Too is kind of like, women have had a rough end of it, where they've kind of had to keep their mouth quiet about uncomfortable and unnecessary and unwelcome sexual experiences. And then there's this side. It's like, if you have an unwelcomed and unagreed upon sexual experience, like, keep your mouth shut.
Well, they're kind of framing it as a lifestyle choice for the person who's being cheated on. We got a $20 from BMF Nate Dogg. Don't leave a loyal man just because he's occasionally unfaithful. Loyal.
The example.
Loyal, huh?
One of the examples they give in this article is Bill and Hillary Clinton, which is insane because that is basically an arranged marriage for the sake of political power.
Right, true.
That's not the same
most
thing
people
at all.
are not in that kind of position at all.
But what's funny is that they can't even exist within an incredibly loose paradigm, which is like polyamory. It's like, okay, so here's this other thing. It's like, you pretend to be monogamous, but you're not, and when it's your turn to get cheated on, you're kind of cool with it.
You're doing it for
back in
public
the day, this was
appearances.
just called being unhappy in your relationship.
Yeah.
That's what this was.
Yeah.
It was.
Some people would call this settling. Some
Yes.
people would call this giving up on life.
Well, this is my problem.
Giving
with
up
all
on
of it,
your
right?
marriage.
Like back in the day, there would have been there would be no actual term for this. It's just an ambiguous relationship state that you and your friends would observe one of your other friends who is in a relationship like this. You know they're unhappy, but they've made their choices, so you have to let them do what they do. You can criticize it. You can tell them you think it's wrong for them. But with this, now that person can come back and be like, well, you just don't understand. It's got a name. Like,
that means my identity is valid.
I'm practicing this. It's not that I've settled. It's that I'm practicing polyamory, not that I put up with the fact that my husband likes to go, get lap dances from strippers.
Yes, they said some people may not think monogamy is realistic or possible, acknowledging that infidelity is a likelihood. But it needs to be kept discreet in order for people to save face and maintain the public appearance of monogamy. It preserves the person's innocence if they pretend it isn't happening. And they said, furthermore, societies where gender equality is less advanced tend to have dual standards when it comes to these expectations. Women are expected to tolerate their husband's infidelity while remaining monogamous.
So it's got nothing to do with religion or anything. It's just that the Middle East has a lot of polyamory.
But I guess in the West, polyamory is mainly for men who are being cheated on because their wives are sexually empowered or something like that.
Well, I mean, not the strip club thing points towards men being the ones doing that, right? The dude going to the strip club and doing that points to men, not women doing the cheating.
Well, they're talking about like the wage gap, and there's also an infidelity gap that we need to close. So women need to close the infidelity gap in socially progressive societies.
Close the gap. I love this.
The other thing that this screams up to me is just a desire to make you believe that a committed relationship is somehow a figment of your imagination and impossible, when everyone knows that it is possible, but it's a high level form of gaslighting from
we
the
got
public.
a 20 from Alfred LaRock. This sounds like every spouse of NBA players or rock stars. Can I include the three of you in my photorealistic fellowship tattoo? Are you famous enough to sue for copyright? Keep up the good work.
I would never put a tattoo of myself on anything.
I would rather you didn't include me in your tattoo. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
But Dane's
I did the
saying
post for you.
he's cool with it.
I mean,
Also,
it'd be funny to add to the list.
There's another thing that people talk about here. They say they always have the discussion about who cheats more, men or women, and I think
Statistically, women.
The conclusion tends to be that men talk about it more, women do it more but don't talk about it.
Women get away with it
Women do
more.
it as much but don't talk about it, so you don't know.
Well, if you're relying on self-reported statistics, you're never going to know for sure.
Correct.
I think that some self-reports say 60% for men and 40% for women in married couples. But at the same time, that's maybe the men are just more likely to self-report.
Or the women will just give it a name, like an entanglement, perhaps.
An entanglement that I've forgiven myself for. I forgave myself.
They will always forgive themselves for their polyamorous behavior.
By the way, this is like related but unrelated. I've been listening a lot to like Andrew Wilson on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know.
I've
who
heard
that
of
is.
him.
Yeah. He's on the Whatever podcast a lot now. Kind of like a debater person, and he completely convinced me on this, and I don't know why I even needed convincing, that if you're not married by the church, like, don't even get married at all. Like, secular marriage is not a thing.
Okay.
And so this is kind of one of those ramifications of secular marriages once more, because naturally none of this behavior is endorsed or will ever be endorsed by any church.
Hopefully.
that I know. I mean, you know,
you never know.
You never know. Statistically, probably not. But if it's just secular marriages doing what they do at this point, like, who cares?
No,
I mean, I kind of disagree with that, actually. Even though I'm Catholic, I disagree that you, in order to have a valid marriage, you need to get married in the church, because I maybe I'm incorrect about this, and if you know more about the subject, correct me. But I was always taught that
it's a sacrament.
In Catholic teaching, yes, marriage is a sacrament, but all marriages are assumed to be valid until proven otherwise, even if they are outside of the church. That's what I was
basically
always taught.
giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the institution of marriage is something that is natural.
I want to go back. So the super chat mentioned basketball, like the wives of basketball players, right? So in that case, that would be true. They are not fools or dupes. They have made calculated decisions because of the financial upside of that marriage to unfortunately stay, even though the behavior is not that of an actual good spouse.
Yeah, for
That's
people
very
in the middle
different.
class, they would probably be thinking, we'll stay together for the kids.
Yes, that's very different. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion, but I just say stop giving everything a name. You pathologize it and you turn it into an identity when you give literally everything some type of clinical name. It doesn't need that. It's just one of the many aberrations of human behavior that explains and shows what we as people will put up with in certain situations. That doesn't mean it needs to have a clinical term.
Also, don't get married if you are so accepting of infidelity and you don't think that monogamy is realistic or even possible. It's clearly possible for a huge amount of married people.
And if you're just doing it for the tax breaks...
I mean, it's just pointless, right?
Yep.
I understand that, like, some people can't accept the level of commitment, but then don't get married.
Which is what essentially, you know, because I feel like a lot of secular marriages go in with the, I mean, you know, the worst thing that can happen, you get a divorce, it's an uncomfortable period and yada yada. But, you know,
Yeah, someone commented, people when they're single, they pretend to be when they're dating, they pretend to be single. When they're married, they pretend that they're dating. And it makes everything have an easy escape plan.
All right, let's move on. So from one depressing topic to another, it's time to talk about all of the ways in which the simps are proving themselves even worse than normal.
Yeah, the simps for female streamers such as Pokimane and Amaranth are completely out of control. They're debasing themselves, humiliating themselves to points I never thought possible. And the best example of this over the weekend is Pokimane said her editor, former editor, told her that he couldn't make deadlines for her content because he was too busy touching himself to her videos while editing them.
Should we watch this clip?
Yeah, let's go ahead and watch.
Hey, do you have time to talk? I'm ready to finally tell you why I've been struggling so much with deadlines. And I said, oh, like, great. Hopefully this is something that we can fix. Tell me why he proceeds to tell me that the reason why he would sometimes turn around videos a week or two late is because he couldn't stop touching himself.
Okay.
This is the lowest common denominator rage bait by someone that's famous for it.
You think she's lying that this never happened?
My verdict.
Or are you just trying to like cope by telling yourself this never happened?
Pokimane added
Hope for what? Like I don't care either way what happens to this.
She added to me, his in a way employer of many, many months. When I tell you I had never halted a conversation so fast because I'm like, you're the person I send hours of footage to. I don't want to know more.
Like,
the streamer explained that the editor stated it was an addiction and that because of her firsthand experience seeing other people struggle with addiction, she felt bad for him. That's that weaponized empathy we always talk about, ladies and gentlemen.
She seemed to imply later on in a follow-up that he didn't say he was touching himself to her, but that he just had such a crippling porn addiction that he couldn't work.
Yeah.
This is an insane cope. Like this is like an insane. Who would confess this to their?
There's whole channels designed to women taking L's. That's a thing. And as men become more like women, perhaps they're just comfortable admitting something like this.
This is insane. Like you would admit this to your boss, like, "Hey, sorry."
It's becoming like a thing now. It's like all the things that people admit, and they're like, the way I would have to be like waterboarded to have this taken from me.
One person jokingly LARPed as the former editor, saying, "I'll address this once and for all. Yes, she's talking about me." Pokey had been reaching out to various editors to expand her YouTube presence. I was a longtime fan of hers, so you can imagine the joy I felt when she offered the job to me. Things were going smoothly for the first few months, but as time passed, I found myself struggling to meet deadlines as I was truly captured by her beauty and would get distracted by her allure whilst editing. Needless to say, things didn't work out. I wish this never became public, and I apologize to Pokey.
It's hard when those deadlines are always coming up. You gotta.
I don't doubt for a second that something like this could have happened.
Oh yeah,
I totally see it.
I mean, we've seen it with the amount of mods that drive thousands of miles to meet the people they mod for, the women they mod for, all to get no attention whatsoever.
And Amaranth's incel thing, where she was like trying to recruit incels from her audience to level up their dating potential. And they would do this on public platforms for millions of people to examine whether they're pathetic enough to warrant her help in escaping their incel status.
I suppose the upside to this is that it wasn't necessarily to her content, because there's nothing about her content that would be even worse, actually.
Well, the insidious thing about the female streamers who don't go all the way to do porn is that it's sort of an emotional porn where we watch this woman as sort of a substitute for female company.
Yeah.
Or a girlfriend experience, basically.
There's so many of these girls online, and a lot of them are on OnlyFans, and their whole shtick is like, I try to be a friend for them so they learn how to talk to women. Listen, they're again, the spectrum. There's the ones that pretend that they're not doing it, and there's the ones that are forthright about doing it. They're all doing it, and they're all cognizant of it. to varying degrees of sexual explicitness.
Yeah.
But if we are as a society, I'm speaking as every woman, if we are as a society moving towards the recognition of equality and whatever, at what point, like, can we not recognize the subtext behind clearly obvious and recurring things?
I did.
Anyone?
Did you see the thread over the weekend about the guy who was complaining that he didn't have any bros to like talk about his feelings to?
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
I mean, this is just that. What I say is like when I talk about that, that's what I mean by this is not outside the realm of possibility.
Yes.
But there was this thread where this guy's like he was telling something really really deep and personal to his friend who says like, "Oh man, I'm really sorry that happened to you. What do you want on the pizza?"
It is,
which I think is from a commercial.
I mean,
Oh.
I mean, I feel like if you're a male friend or you're a girl male friend, it is incumbent upon you to listen to your friends, perhaps not as emotionally as some men are recently, but to give them a steady head
Sounding board.
sounding board, correct, during a time where they're being emotional and silly.
It's I mean, I think there's a middle ground there. Right?
There is a
Like,
middle ground, is
there's
what I'm
absolutely
saying.
a middle ground. But I'm just saying that like the thread that of people talking about this was massive, and there was people from all sides of the spectrum. Now a good portion of them were men saying like, look, if that's what you're looking for from your male friends, I'm sorry, but you're just not likely going to get that from many of them. And then there were other ones that were men who were like, yes, I absolutely wish this was possible within my friend group. And then of course a lot of women saying, yes, why don't men just emotionally put themselves out there to everyone and anything, even though men know that that's not the safest thing in the world to do.
Brother, am I crazy for believing that there is a beautiful dignity in as a man suffering in silence?
No, I don't think that's
Only to
crazy.
come to the conclusion of being like, it is what it is.
Mary,
I don't think that's
Mary
crazy.
tweeted me saying that one day, as a matter of fact. She said, as a man, you should do the right thing and suffer in silence.
You said everyone should suffer in silence and die
To a
young.
degree. To a degree.
To a degree.
To a degree.
It's
Yeah,
mostly
yes.
for men because it's unbecoming otherwise.
It is very unbecoming.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
I mean, a lot of people would argue that Pokimane has intentionally courted an audience of men who would act like this. And
Yes.
not because she, outwardly does porn like someone like Amaranth would, but, being this kind of emotional outlet of some kind, showing your body in surreptitious ways that seem to be unintentional but are intentional. It's very complicated, but I definitely don't think it's healthy to be watching someone for hours and hours on end.
The human brain wasn't designed for that.
That's insane, and this person needs professional help. And by the way, I don't think most people need professional help. I think most people need a good stop being beep and but this person, if they're to the point where they're confessing to their employer like, hey, I can't stop Xing myself.
You should tell Tim that.
Tim what? That hey
Yeah.
Tim, you're just
sorry I missed the deadline on that.
Yeah, you're just so handsome.
You're just so
buddy.
handsome. I was
Those-
enraptured by you.
Beautiful eyes. You need help. And also to my men in chat, manhood is the point in your life when your problems exceed your immediate outcomes, and it comes for all of us. And it is incumbent upon a man to face this challenge head on with dignity and grace. You will not always succeed, but it is a never-ending challenge, and it is our never-ending burden that we must bear gracefully. Women have their own burdens that they must bear. This one's ours.
Find a level of stoicism that works.
Another disgraceful example of these simps is a grown man letting Amaranth step on him.
I will freely admit that I have no idea what the context of this was. I don't know
Doesn't
if this
matter.
was this for
Doesn't
charity or something?
Nope.
But sorry, bro. We're gonna have to show this. Here we go.
We got this human giraffe over here.
These are really big shoes.
And they're clapping.
Oh, the clap is even worse. Okay.
I think Andrew Tate, rumors of him aside, is like 10 billion times more wholesome than whatever the hell this is. Am I crazy?
I mean, he definitely has a better message for men.
He's dropping a lot of hard R's on social media lately.
He is.
Yeah, him and Tristan Tate are hard R'ing everything.
Well, they're like part black, right? They get the
Yes.
pass. But yeah, this was painful to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Like, man, can we just be better than this? Can I don't know. The T levels are plummeting.
Yeah.
Just plummeting. It's,
Like, imagine how much she would have loved it if you just said no. If she's like, "Can I step on your
I'm
chest?"
sure.
And he's like, "Fuck off."
This was not her idea. This was his idea. I mean, he looked elated at the opportunity to be stepped on. Someone commented, if it wasn't for social media, Amaranth would be working the afternoon shift on a Monday at her local strip club. But because of social media, this is what we get.
I'm also not gonna scroll.
Or she could take the dignified approach and being a hot wife.
I mean, there's that's more dignified, but a lot less financially viable for her. So
maybe
this is just pathetic.
Yeah,
absolutely pathetic.
I don't think many of them give much thought to this outside of their own bubble, right? That how this looks to other people, and I guess to their own credit, they don't care. So whatever.
Or a model.
Yeah, like live your life, but you're not going to get a lot of respect from people for it.
Definitely not.
No.
Not from men or women.
Well, the thing is, like, I think society has pushed so much feminism on them that they don't see something like this as unseemly. Like, it doesn't even like click in their brain that they might be debasing themselves in some fashion.
I think he knows it's debasing, but he has like a weird fetish for that. Yeah.
Well,
which should not be nurtured, nor should it be projected out into the public eye. Right?
This Pride Month.
Some desires should be suppressed. The desire for Amaranth to step on you, you should suppress that. Noted. Never express it.
She looks like MJ from that famous Spider-Man cover. She does.
She's really hot. That aside. Should I officially transition this Pride Month to every bro? In assistance to our men in need who need a role model?
Bro month?
Bro month? Well, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, interesting.
Do you think women were sufficiently helped with my every woman spiel?
Yes.
Are you guys good?
Yeah, I felt helped by that.
Like June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. They just fall head on into one another. So that's what it is.
Interesting.
All right, guys, let's do Cringe and Cute of the day. What would you guys like to see?
Dane, you
always
decide today.
Cringe first.
Always cringe first. Okay, we can do that. Here we go. All right, Mary found this one. So
these are graduates from NYU heading out into the working world.
Here we go.
Oh my God! Wait, before this begins, is this gonna be them saying their stupid degrees that have nothing to do with anything?
Yes.
Let's find out.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm studying the unseen body in creative spaces, erasure and exposure of the queer.
How do I know?
Yeah!
Hey, I'm Nina, and I studied the arts, education, and social justice.
Yeah!
I'm Joyce. I study decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics of resistance.
Wait, I need to read that one. Decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics of resistance.
What the hell is decolonial intimacy?
You'd have to ask her. She's the expert.
She's the expert.
Like, well, what's the opposite of being colonized? And then
is college a money laundering scheme?
Well, yeah.
Where some
Yes.
people become professors?
Yes.
I did see this one. It says my friend went to study in Egypt, went to school to be an Egyptologist, got his degree, but couldn't get a job, so he had to go to get his PhD to be an Egyptologist so that he could teach other people to be Egyptologists. Right. It's a pyramid scheme.
That's
Do
the
they
next
teach
step.
during that degree? Do they teach you bun, burger, mayonnaise, cheese,
They should.
ketchup, lettuce,
Yes,
bun?
I studied decolonial intimacy with a minor in burger flipping.
or is that the more advanced course? Do they need on-field practice?
I'm curious. What does anybody in the chat who studies stupid, who understands stupid, know what decolonial intimacy is?
We'll wait on that.
Does that have to do with like? Is this supposed to be about like? I'm serious. Interracial.
Play the rest.
Or something like this.
There's even weirder ones.
And I studied remembering or forgetting, navigating international conflict through collective memory.
Hi, I'm Yvonne, and I study Monstrosity, the subaltern praxis. Or should I say I created it?
Hi, I'm Nunyala. I'm studying living artfully, art as ritual therapy and pathway to decoloniality.
Decoloniality. I didn't even know that was a
We
word.
are creating a whole subclass of debt-ridden, unlovable women.
I'm Naomi and I'm studying black film.
That was like the most normal.
Okay,
of
that's
them.
still not normal, but yeah.
That's a
I'm Natalie and I'm studying fashion history and gender studies.
Okay, that's fashion history is as stupid as art history, and people have been getting art history degrees for decades.
I studied phenomenological approaches to black womanhood, specifically
Her spiel was so dumb that they couldn't even let her.
They didn't even let her finish.
My name is Marie, and my concentration is the radical disruption for survival, development in sub-Saharan Africa, through social anthropology.
Hi, I'm Kira and I study textiles and environmental justice.
Textile seems useful.
Are any of these girls gonna find a guy in finance?
Blue eyes, 6'5".
Yes.
Trust fund. I can't even hear them.
Well,
Textiles and environmental justice.
okay. That's the most reasonable so far.
Hi, I'm Ava, and I study I'm woman, fugitive family, relationships, and identity. The transformative black woman.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's this this feature of NYU where you get to create your own major. So that's all of the majors that they created for themselves.
People that are concerned about poverty in the African American community, how many women did we just see with stupid fucking degrees?
So it's like a DLC, but your degree.
TLC.
Yes, yeah.
I guess.
But, you know, I know that the joke is like, haha, they're not going to get jobs. A lot of these women are going to get high-paying jobs. Unfortunately, that is the truth.
Working in HR.
Working in HR or in academia or in other institutions like that.
Hiroshima Utaru.
Not just because of their stupid degrees, but because of their DEI quotas.
We took away the mental asylums and we just put the universities.
Hiroshima Utaru says decolonial intimacy would be practicing intimacy outside of the white cultural norms.
I still don't get it.
Based.
We have a 20 from Justin. Step on me, Mary. No. Please get help. I mean that
Yes.
because I care.
We mean that.
Thank
Crisis
you.
party!
I dance to hide the pain.
Dance through the pain. Dance through the cringe. Even though the crisis party is not going to show up on screen.
I do want to remind everyone that there was just like a gazillion more dollars in student loan debt forgiveness that was just applied as well.
Not a single one afforded to me. Not
Why
a single
is that?
one. Why is
I don't,
that?
how are they choosing who gets their loans forgiven?
Why not Dane?
How are they making these decisions?
Everyone
Biden was like, specifically not Dane.
Everyone tweet Joe Biden, help Dane Font out.
He just left out anybody with D or F in their names.
Just
Maybe.
randomly.
No starting letter D, no ending letter F. Yeah. All right, let's do cue to the day to, palate cleanser, ladies and gentlemen.
Please.
Palate cleanser. We've got some here. Hold on, let me get rid of this here. Minimize that. Here we go. First things first. This is from Jay. It says, this is my buddy Golan. He is the only intact kitty we have, and this pumpkin smelling it on him for the first time. And this is Pumpkin smelling it on him for the first time. Moments later, she booped his face, and now they're best buds. Her tortitude keeps him in check.
I love tortitude. I've never heard that, but I love it.
Was that just not a misspell of fortitude?
No, like a tortoise cat
Okay.
that has that
Cool.
coat.
I'm
Very
going
pretty.
with fortitude.
Okay.
Misspelled.
Okay.
He looks taken aback.
Let's do one more. Very cute. This one is from Devin. It says, how about Mocha the derpy dog for cute of the day?
Oh.
Okay, her name wasn't Mocha, but we can pretend.
I was hoping though.
Not
Pretty derpy.
Not gonna happen,
Oh.
ladies and gentlemen.
It's pretty derpy,
it's
but
not
cute.
gonna happen.
Good
All
girl.
right, guys, it is time to move on. Now that we are 50 minutes into the show, ladies and gentlemen, Mary, it's time to talk about Adele, Katy Perry, and all the many celebrities that are virtue signaling right now.
Well, this is our first show of Pride Month, and as you can expect, the celebrity virtue signaling for Pride is in full throttle right now. They are in a race against time to show people how virtuous and tolerant they are. First of which is Adele, who recently accosted one of the members of her audience for saying that pride sucks. She deemed this completely unacceptable behavior and went off on him. We can show the video here.
Yes, I almost deleted it there. Here, let's watch this clip here.
Did you come to my fucking show and just say that pride sucks? Are you fucking stupid? You mad with that nerve? It's ridiculous. Let's jump in. You've got nothing nice to say, shut up, all right?
Period.
Perhaps it's you, sir. Do we have any husbands here tonight who have been dragged along? I will not be offended. You can cheer. Do we have any husbands here? You will thank me later because I'm really going to turn the lights on tonight, right? And you'll end up. Did you come to my fucking...
Okay.
It's just funny because, you know, the person didn't even say anything homophobic. They just said that pride sucks.
Technically,
which it objectively does.
Tis
He
a
could have been
sin.
talking about one of the 7 deadly sins.
Yes, he was. But like Pride Month as it exists, as like this corporate rainbow slop, yeah, it sucks.
Do you guys
To say nothing of homosexuality.
Did you guys understand anything she said?
Her accent was pretty thick.
Yeah. It's like that scene in Uncharted where every time the Scottish guy talks, Tom Holland goes, I have no idea what you're saying.
You're homophobic and ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything nice to say, just shut the F up, is essentially what she said. And then also, Katy Perry decided to jump into the mix and post a remix version of Harrison Butker's commencement speech at Benedictine that is pro-Pride Month and feminism and all of that stuff. Yep. She said, I fixed this for my girls, my graduates, and my gays. You can do anything. Congratulations and happy Pride.
Notice how Harrison Butker never said they couldn't. But anyways, let's listen to this. In my in my heart of hearts, I would like to believe that she's actually sitting on her phone editing this clip, and
we know that it was the unpaid intern.
Yes,
though.
Exactly.
We know that.
For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? I would venture to guess the women here today are going to lead successful careers in the world. I say all of this to you because I have seen it firsthand, how much happier someone can be supporting women and not saying that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. The road ahead is bright. Things are changing, society is shifting, and people young and old are embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion. With that said, I want to say happy Pride Month to all of you, and congratulations, class of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, we love alternate universe libtard Harrison Butker's speech. Very empowering.
Should have given him a man bun.
It's just, I still can't get over the irony because he was absolutely correct in saying that the women in that room are more excited to be married than have careers.
You know, at the beginning, I thought like this was a really inappropriate commencement speech. It was like, oh, it's in a Catholic university. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know for a fact that the women in the audience were cheering for him. Yeah. They agreed with him. So, I mean, it was just never meant for public consumption anyway, but it really got a lot of people mad, and you love to see it.
You know, it's one stupid aunt that was there was like, I'm gonna pull my phone out.
Exactly.
Well, no, that was recorded. That looked like it was recorded by the school.
No, I'm pretty sure they published it.
That was
themselves.
recorded by the school. That was a.
But still, it's just complete ignorance that any women exist with different priorities than their careers.
Yep.
And anyway, furthermore, you sent me this. The Miss Universe co-owner has just announced that trans women are now allowed to compete in their pageants, but they can't win. There's the catch.
So there had been trans women in the pageant since 2018.
Yes, but then the ownership shifted. The current owner of Miss Universe is actually a trans woman, a trans-identified woman, and they have changed their rules to allow trans and married competitors. I didn't know that you couldn't be married in one of these pageants, but
really?
It's wild that they can compete, quote unquote, under these new guidelines, but they can't win, which just makes the competition easier for the people who are eligible, and they're literally giving them participation trophies.
I kind of like that you can't be competing if you're married. It's like, you're married, I don't like it.
They said, the trans women, the women with husbands, divorced women, this is a communication strategy because you understand they can compete, but they cannot win. We just put the policy out there, social inclusion, as people would say. And they continued, the women from non-traditional backgrounds cannot win Miss Universe. And I mean, it's better than nothing, but it would be ideal if men couldn't compete in these pageants.
I can't believe that they made that contingent. It's like, oh, but you can't win though.
They were like social inclusion and all that.
I like the idea that it's put in the fine print at the very bottom and none of them ever read it. And they're like, look, you should have had a lawyer read the contract. That's the real problem here.
When do you eliminate that? I don't know how it all works, but that was just bizarre. I guess that's just the gesture they made in solidarity
Should this
for
be
Pride
done
Month.
with trans athletes in women's sports too?
Like they can quote unquote compete but not win.
Listen, you can swim really fast if you want, but let's give it to Susie.
If you want to feel included.
let's give it to Susie that she's been training since she was 6 months old.
Yeah, better than nothing, but they still have to share the locker rooms and all that.
Yep. It's I think it's going to get, I don't think it's going to be as bad as usual. I've seen a lot of people say they've seen a noticeable drop in like Pride Month virtue signaling and propaganda this
100%.
You were looking out for the company logos to get changed, and they didn't.
At midnight, I was just curious if they had it set on like autocorrect to change the logos and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they did, but not till the next day and stuff like that. All the Middle East logos are still suspiciously not changed.
As per usual.
I think last year, Pride kind of died down after half the year when it was like, listen, Twitter's going to be rambunctious this year. We're like, you know what? We're going to keep it. I think Target canceled all their Pride stuff.
Not all. They just
in certain states.
They canceled the nationwide rollout, but it will still exist in
Washington State or something.
Yeah, or California. And
basically means red states won't have the Pride
or they don't
collections
have
or
to
whatever.
have.
They don't have to
have them. Look, it's I think that will probably help you with your overall image because people just don't like seeing it consistently done in such a inorganic way, and it just doesn't feel it doesn't feel organic to anybody who's actually paying attention. And that's kind of the name of the game. Is it's hard to consider yourselves a resistance when every major corporation on earth falls in line with your essentially neoliberal values, and that's the name of the game today.
Mm-hmm. I definitely this year is probably the least tolerant towards the excesses of Pride.
You could also say that this is a product of a bad economy and inflation, and the fact that corporations are struggling right now. So they're like, look, we can't afford bad press right now. They're like, look, this is for good years. This is for years when we're making record profits without inflation and stuff like that. So that makes sense to me. Corporate wise, it's not about necessarily ideology on its face. It's about corporate decision making being like, look, we can't afford it right now.
So when the companies are doing well, they just think, how can we ruin this?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have that discussion, right? Is it get woke, go broke, or is it go broke, get woke?
Interesting.
Some people have the back and forth is to say, like, when a company is already struggling, then the virtue signaling begins. Other people believe perhaps better in retail environments that makes more sense to think that it's we can't afford this right now because we need mass appeal and we can't afford large scale boycotts. It kind of puts a damper on what I've just never been a boycott person. I don't care enough to boycott. Target does something I don't like. I'm not going to not go to Target. I already avoid Target as it is. It's not like I need to go on a regular basis. But if I have to go there, I'm not going to skip it for ideological reasons. I understand that that's not the popular position in this space. But I just don't care.
I think putting your money where your mouth is important. I think kind of the burning like Bud Light cans is kind of ridiculous, you know. Like you bought the product.
Burning Bud Light cans.
Yeah, you bought the product to destroy it. Like they already got
there
your
were
money.
Bud Light cans.
Cans.
I thought you said the dolls. The cans.
No,
like
Hispanic
when Kid Rock did the video, shooting all of the Bud Light cans. It's like you literally gave them money
That's like
to dunk on them on Instagram.
$300 worth of Bud Light.
In other news, in Pride Month, AI is bigoted against gay people because a lesbian dating app decided to implement facial recognition on their app. and it excluded trans women from matching with biological females. So
sounds like bigotry.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume the clientele for an app like this is already extremely small.
Yeah.
But I find it funny that even robots know the difference. And also Call of Duty
did you
has
see this,
decided
Dane?
to roll out some Pride Month
I saw
skins
Halo.
in the game.
Yeah, I'll have to show you this picture, Dane. This is
In the middle of them getting sued as well.
Yes,
they're getting
this is
sued
something.
right now for
So,
glorifying assault rifles.
There's a double stack of trans ammunition in
Yes.
this is a
The
thing.
meme.
Yes,
the,
they
the
literally
gay missile?
they did the meme with the
Did Nikki Haley sign it? That witch demon.
probably, yeah. Not the greatest thing you could do in the world right now.
There's a trans missile, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, well, that looks like a trans like a magazine with trans bullets in it.
I'm sorry, I'm blind.
Yeah, so yeah, not. I don't know how anyone thought this was a good idea, but. You know,
I mean, these are the people who speak the most violently on social media and don't back up that energy.
Grums was talking about it, which we're gonna be very careful with how we talk about the language here. He says Activision and Call of Duty are being sued for millions over Uvalde. That is going on right now. Activision, Daniel Defense, are being sued by the victims of Uvalde because of they say that support, like advertising the AR-15 is what leads to stuff like this, and Call of Duty is violent, therefore it's a bad thing. It says then they do this right after they get sued. They would rather lose a multi-million-dollar lawsuit than stop virtue signaling. There is precedent for this too, because I didn't know about this beforehand, but I found this article. The Sandy Hook family settled for $73 million with Remington.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I didn't know
what?
that.
These lawyers are sick. Like, they're so good to win these nonsense lawsuits.
Like this
how do you even make the correlation?
It says the families of 9 victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary school shooting announced Tuesday that they have agreed to a $73 million settlement in a lawsuit against the maker of the rifle used to kill 20 first graders and 6 educators in 2012. This story is from 2022. So there is precedent now for Daniel Defense getting sued.
So, okay. So the lawsuit is the gun is available in the game, and the game is popular, thus the game...
It glorifies gun violence is what they're arguing. Yeah. I mean, I doubt that's going to go anywhere. But also, I mean, they're putting themselves in more danger
And this
of
closed
lawsuits.
Remington. Like, Remington went out of business for this and then had to, reestablish.
Well, other
So-
people said that was, like, kind of on the way for Remington beforehand. But regardless, there was precedent for that.
Grums goes into like way more detail with way more information, arguing with people online about this. It's very interesting. I don't know how much of it is actually YouTube safe to talk about.
With examples of also like mass shooters who identify as trans and who were vocal about that before perpetrating their acts of violence. This just opens up Call of Duty to yet another lawsuit or handful of lawsuits.
Yeah. And this goes hand in hand with Alex Jones just like literally crying during
doing a war cry
on the as he went off the air on InfoWars because of the government coming in and putting the locks on the doors because they sued him for he lost $1 billion lawsuit for defamation.
We're already getting too spicy right now. I'm worried, but you know, it's true.
We haven't. All we've done is report things that are going on. We haven't.
We are the news.
Yes.
We are just journalists after all. Don't shoot the messengers.
It is literally the meme, though. The meme.
I love that they did it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love that they did it.
So yeah, just thought I would point that out. It's not the.
They're definitely showing their hand.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, let's go to Super Chats and check them out here.
Okay, I'm like way behind because they're not getting.
Here, I'm gonna scroll back up.
Aggregated.
Up there. Can you see them now?
Shane H. Wilder first. He said, "Happy Masculine Monday, Brett, Mary, and Dane." I don't see it in full.
Okay, hold on.
Now for the most important question today: what did Mary think of the Cheez-It Crunch Wrap? I gotta say, I was disappointed in the Cheez-It Crunch Wrap.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not crunchy.
Were you trying to get me to eat it?
I mean, I just was wondering if you had tried it yet.
Is it worth the experience?
I mean, it was good. It's a crunch wrap, but there was no crunch. It got all mushy in there.
I feel like crunch wraps haven't been good in like 10 years.
I hate when you order one and there's just a giant hole in the top of the crunch wrap and it all falls apart.
For me, that's been every time, and they're slacking on the meat. They were on a lawsuit because of that. Did you guys remember?
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Did we?
The guy who sued Taco Bell
Some of our best
for
journalism.
false advertising.
Well, and now people are filming Chipotle workers to make sure that they get the right amount of ingredients.
You
By
can't
the
do that
way-
at Taco Bell.
By the way, I'm going to start doing that.
You should.
Do it.
It's
I
your
will.
right.
It's my
You
right.
deserve better portion
Do
size.
3 more.
Well, we got your
I was
testing
testing
super
it out,
chat
which
from
is not
earlier,
working, yeah.
which doesn't count. Corey Anderson said, "Happy Pride Month, y'all. I'm proud to be an American."
Me too.
Love that. Sorenko Productions said Pride Month is gay.
That is technically true.
Objectively, yes.
true.
Corey Anderson said, "I agree. Pride is a sin and super gay."
Okay. Well, the audience has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to move on. All right, Mary, tell us why Gen Z is so pissed at Eminem.
Eminem just released a lead single for his upcoming album under the title Houdini. And a lot of people found some of his lyrics to be quite offensive. First off, one that specifically targeted Megan Thee Stallion over her getting shot in the foot by Tory Lanez. The lyric read, "If I was to ask for Megan Thee Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at a feat?" It's
a
not
play on
even,
words on feature.
it wasn't even like that crazy, but a lot of people were accusing Eminem of being racist and misogynist because he's mocking a black woman's trauma. Her trauma?
There's a
And
20
the
there from Roman Nation says, "What's next? Marine commercials will be seen as violence." Hi, Brett.
Oh, I know that guy. That guy's in the Discord.
Hello, Roma.
Hello,
Hello.
Roma Nation.
Hello.
The conversation about Gen Z trying to cancel Eminem was reignited because of this.
Yeah, so it originally happened because of his song with Rihanna. That was the initial reason they were mad at him, because
Glorifies
it glorified
domestic
violence. And anybody who listened to Eminem from the Marshall Mathers, from the Slim Shady LP all the way up, understands that there was far, far worse that he has made music about in the past.
That he said about the mother of his child.
What I think is funny about that is like, okay, so I listened to the new single. It was fine. I thought it had weird pacing and it felt very stop and start. But lyrically, he's as talented as he ever was, I guess. It just didn't really land.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
But
Should I pour it on Donald Trump? Probably not.
The problem
That was
is
his
like
best work.
there's a disconnect now because people understand that no matter how crazy of a statement he makes, he is the establishment, so there's not really anything edgy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything he said had to go through 10,000 hands before it made it to air. The music video is very, very high quality, high production value. The de-aging, they have a de-aged version of him in the video, like him and himself.
It's Eminem facing off
Against
with his
Slim
alter
Shady,
ego
yeah.
from years ago
I feel
and like doing it in the least edgy way possible.
He's 50 years old.
Yeah.
He's got 3 kids. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Got 3 kids?
2 or 3 kids.
Something like that.
His daughter just got married like last week.
Yeah, I only know about the impressively
it's
hot daughter.
dad energy. And the song was fine, but it's got a very specific audience, and that's Gen X and millennials. And I think to Gen Z and younger, it's just going to come off as a bit lame, but it's not bad per se. It's going for the audience it's looking for. It's going to reach just fine. It's already doing very good numbers, music video wise and sales wise.
Some of the comments. Imagine bringing up someone's trauma and it's not even a bar. Another one said, he can't do nothing without mentioning a black woman's name. Another said, unprovoked and unnecessary.
Here's the thing. He's a rapper, and the majority of the community is black. So if he's going to do what he's always done, which is to make diss tracks and start beef with people, that's going to happen.
It's not like that's, without precedent in rap music.
Correct.
It's like we just watched the Kendrick Lamar.
If you want to make him feel
right?
better, he hurt Machine Gun Kelly so bad he switched genres. That's a white dude.
And then another lyric that was in this song is about his transgender cat. He said, "My transgender cat Siamese identifies as black but acts Chinese."
It's very. He also talks about hitting. He talks about hitting an 8th grader with a participation trophy, and I literally felt him turn into a boomer.
It was boomer rap.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Ew, stop, no.
And you know, if Gen Z is trying to cancel Eminem, it's not because he was like too offensive. It's just because he's giving boomer energy.
No, I do believe that plenty of them are offended. That's once they made it about race, they are offended.
Yeah, I mean, they were really mad about the Megan Thee Stallion line, not the other stuff.
There was also a really funny poll where somebody did who's like, he's so racist and awful. Who's better, Megan Thee Stallion or Eminem? And 98% said Eminem.
And also just the numbers prove that.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah. And look, in today's day where the media curtain has been pulled back, we understand how these things work now. Nobody's buying edginess from establishment media personalities.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Like he waited till 2024 to make the joke when it's safe to make the joke.
Right, exactly. I also wanted to recall for everyone that awful cringe video of a millennial woman responding to Gen Z for canceling Eminem.
We can listen to this here.
There's boomer cringe and then there's millennial cringe. It's a whole other level.
We've watched this before,
yeah,
right?
I think
guys,
so.
I do want to prepare you because it's bad.
It's really bad.
So here we go.
What?
Damn it, we're gonna get copyrighted for the damn background music too. Here we go.
Gen Z's trying to what? Cancel Eminem. Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem? Honey, that's cute. Listen, little kitties, let me make this quite clear. This man was around even before you were here. So what, you're all mad because the man was a lyricist while all your rappers are mumbling gibberish? No, go ahead and shut your mouth. Better yet, go and sit your ass in time out because boy was running laps even before you could walk. Hell, boy was spitting bars even before you could talk. So no, afraid you're null and void, dear. I'm afraid your opinion don't matter here because one day you'll grow up and see how everyone went and forgot about Z.
Okay.
Christ. This whole episode has been women being unhinged. Like, what is wrong with
The only way this could be
women?
worse is if her boyfriend recorded it.
Oh,
Yes.
man, it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Christ.
Well, the funny thing is, I got just as much secondhand embarrassment now as I did the first time I saw it when we showed it the first time.
Also, it's funny that people are saying this is unprovoked. I just saw that Megan Thee Stallion already named Eminem in one of her songs in 2021.
I'm sorry, but as much as I will joke on him for the song, he is still considered one of the greatest to ever do it. So even being mentioned by him is an accomplishment.
Didn't he say he's like not interested in being in the GOAT conversation anymore?
Kind of like
Because it got oddly racial.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how being parodied by Weird Al is considered an accomplishment. You should just consider it a benefit that you're important enough to even be mentioned by him.
Yeah, also Megan didn't say anything. Like, if she doesn't say she's offended, why do you need to be offended on someone else's behalf? That's lame.
It's
also, I'm starting to think cancellation just doesn't mean anything anymore.
Doesn't.
Like, cancel culture meant something maybe back in the late 2010s.
Well, I mean, it still does for the people where they call your work and they try to get you. Yes, for the
normal
average
people.
Yes.
You can't cancel someone on Eminem's level at all. That's
Correct.
just not humanly possible. I mean, the closest they've come is canceling Kanye. Because he got debanked, he got like deplatformed off social media, but
or even
cloned.
People would draw Roseanne as an example.
Sure,
lost her job doing.
There are very few and far between examples, but like being offended at someone saying something, yes, it's lame, but that's not canceling them.
Yeah,
I mean, people just use that term way too loosely now.
We just you have to weather the storm of the complaints. Think of who was it, Andrew Huberman? Like, he slept with 5 women and the story just disappeared a week later because he didn't say anything.
Exactly. It's the smartest choice.
And
it's
the
not addressing the hate.
The rate of change, the velocity of change with how quickly we go from one thing to the next, because all of this is tied to the news cycle. It doesn't matter because people are on to the next thing a couple days later anyways. Just wait it out. And nobody, it's not like Eminem's ever going to have to worry about something like this.
It is just sad to see him, not be cool anymore. It's like Will Smith. You can't even help it. At a certain point, you just can't be cool anymore, and you should accept that.
You know what I hope?
That's the road that JLo's on too. Like when you stop being top tier hot, pack it up.
His more homophobic songs and stuff that he doesn't do anymore. I hope he has like a retirement era where he's just so old he starts performing them again.
Go for it. I mean,
like at
he
60.
He
Yeah,
could
like-
literally do that now,
Yeah.
and people would love it. But he's not going to do it because he just doesn't like. He doesn't want to. I mean, he might pretend that he's not afraid of pushback and everything. Like he's still edgy, but he is afraid of the backlash. The fact that he kind of backed off of that persona that he used to have just shows that he's afraid of the backlash.
Yep. Well, I'll listen to the new album when it comes out. Look, the song was like right there with something that I probably would have liked at a certain point, but there was just something off about it that didn't work for me. The music video is fantastic, though. If you like Eminem, I do recommend going and watching the music video.
Had a cameo from Shane Gillis, and Pete Davidson.
A lot of people
and others.
Yeah, it was
Snoop Dogg.
It was interesting. So
50
go and
Cent.
check that out. All right, let's go ahead and do some more super chats here then.
Okay, Shane H. Wilder was next. I need you to show me
I gotta go to
the
we're trying
order
to
here.
figure this out here. Shane H. Wilder says
Screw Pride Month, happy month of the Sacred Heart. Yes, we're reclaiming the month. Heavy Hebrew said bundle of sticks, Pride Month, Jesus wept. Gordon Shumway said, I'm proud of Inkers, make tracing great again.
It's a comic reference.
Okay.
Do
Shane
two
H.
more.
Wilder said, I don't think Ben can take much more of her, quote, family time.
Ben was
you
like
can
really
only-
excited when she goes out on tour and now it's canceled. He's like, damn it, she's home again.
You can only smoke so many cigarettes and drink so much Dunkin' Donuts coffee in a day.
That is true. And one more.
I love that those are his coping mechanisms. Gordon Shumway said, I'm guessing Asswad is a witch with a B?
Okay. I
Wait,
don't know what
what?
that means, but okay. All right, let us move on then,
Okay.
shall we? We've got something else we got to address. We got to address men with their thought girlfriends.
Yeah.
We do.
There's a growing phenomenon of girls who treat their boyfriends like walking tripods. They're called the boyfriends of Instagram. And essentially, they're just servants who take photos of their girlfriends for Instagram constantly. It's a never ending cycle of creating content for other men to consume on your girlfriend's social media profile. And it kind of became a larger conversation because this video went viral of a bunch of boyfriends simultaneously taking photos of their girlfriends at this scenic infinity pool
Okay, here we
here.
go. Let's watch this clip here.
Christ.
They're everywhere. It's a plague. You can't escape it.
Are they hot at least?
I mean, I would assume so.
Oh my God.
And they're all over the place. The caption says they don't want a partner, they want a cameraman. And it's never been more true.
Yeah. This article that you sent me was really, really interesting. It says, we've all seen it. A guy taking pictures of his girlfriend or wife, getting down on the floor, adjusting to find the right angles and lighting. She takes the phone and checks through the photos, isn't happy, and he tries again.
Yes, your boyfriend isn't your cameraman. Quote, her need for me to catalog her life is slowly draining my soul. And I just think, you gotta stand up for yourself. If you're just living like a servant for your girlfriend's social media posts, you should just grow a pair and either stop doing that or leave her.
Listen,
Simple solution.
In times like these, sometimes we must reach back to ancient wisdom. I believe it was Plato that said, G's up, hoes down. And there's a lot of wisdom in that.
Yeah. Yep. And
This has become normal now, even enough so that we have articles about the Instagram husband revolution, men's magazines providing tips on how to take a photo of your girlfriend. Meanwhile, girls are told don't date boys who won't take pictures for your Instagram.
That's insane!
And taught how to train an Instagram boyfriend. He is the key to documenting your life, growing your brand.
She's not a boyfriend. She's not a girlfriend. She's a brand now. Men, there's a way you can get revenge. Start a car YouTube channel and make her film your videos.
It needs to be a two-way street.
Yes, have your own hobby and force her to or teach her how to hold a flashlight like your dad and yell at her when she can't hold it properly.
Gentlemen, This is a street we shall not cross. Okay? Not only do I think that you should never take first thirst trap pictures of your lady, you should never take pictures of women, period.
Ever?
Ever. And I shall expand upon this. If you're in a friend group and you're having a jovial time and someone hands you the camera to like capture these memories forever, there is a deeper message that they're sending you. They're telling you, hey, of this group, you are the least important. And I would like you to record this memory without you. Never take that offense. Be like, give that camera to someone else. Can I say WHORE?
I guess.
Whore!
Whore.
Do not make me take pictures of you.
It gets worse, though. It says not just how to train your Instagram boyfriend, how to thank them properly.
Thank you for going on adventures with me to find the perfect spot to take a photo.
But-
and there's also, just like influencers in the wild, there's an entire Instagram page dedicated to boyfriends of Instagram who are dedicated to capturing this phenomenon.
Here's one.
Absolutely horrendous. And by the way, I just found it funny that this guy, you know, being the unwitting participant, also asked someone to take a picture of
It's
him.
like Dave Smith and Ezra Miller had a kid.
Oh, true, actually. I didn't notice that.
By the way, you can ask, I have receipts. You can ask my wife on Twitter, does Dane take pictures? And she'll begrudgingly tell you, like, sigh, no.
Even Jay-Z is not immune to this phenomenon.
All social strata are affected by the boyfriends of Instagram
Everyone
It's an
can
epidemic.
be guilty of it. I like this one. This guy's forced to ride a jet ski while filming his girlfriend.
It does look kind of fun, though.
Listen, maybe if they're looking cute
and never do this.
Oh, well, that's just
definitely never do that.
amaranth levels.
If you know, if you're on a vacation, she's looking cute, she's being nice, like take a picture. You know, that's harmless. But to accentuate her body and you taking a picture and being complicit to that is a level of cuckoldry that I personally do not engage, and I suggest no one engages. And you know what? Sometimes our ladies need a stern talking to. A stern one. It was like, what the fuck do you want me to do right now?
Here's the reverse. Here's the woman.
Oh, she's taking his thirst trap.
Yes.
Interesting.
Stand up for yourself, kings. Watch this. They go back. She goes back. She's like, let me refresh her.
This is more
I mean, that looks like she's a paid photographer.
Also,
I mean,
this
I
is-
can
Got the
hope.
backpack
I can
on, yeah.
hope.
This
Yeah.
is more permissible because selfies of any kind by men are very unbecoming.
True.
And I frown upon this
True.
deeply. No exceptions.
The camera steals your soul. Did you know that?
Yes.
They talk about how the boyfriends never get it right. And then, you know, women, right? They'll go
Yeah.
online and they'll bitch about it and
Well,
completely emasculate the man.
I actually found a couple of confessional accounts from these boyfriends of Instagram. One said, I am having difficulty playing boyfriend of Instagram for my GF. Her father did a fantastic job of photographing her life since she was born. Maybe too good. Her need for me to catalog her life is draining my soul. I understand and enjoy taking pictures just as much as anyone else when it comes to dates, vacations, or food. I try my best to humor her since I know she enjoys getting photographed. But when we discuss the issue, she sums it up as, these are once-in-a-lifetime experiences and I should suck it up. And she wonders why we've been cooking more and I've been taking her on less dates. To help cope, I've thought of taking caffeine, Adderall, weed, MDMA, or just running into oncoming traffic. Anyone have healthier alternatives? She scolds me for taking bad pictures. So there was one story. Another one said, my girlfriend is obsessed with taking pictures, more than actually doing anything. Wherever we go, whatever we see, the first thing is giving me her phone so I can take pictures of her for Insta, which I don't even use, and then critiques the way I take them. She gets high off this stuff, and I absolutely hate it. It could be 10 to 20 minutes of picture taking and then scrolling through her pictures to find which ones are best. Is it just normal behavior these days? I feel like this is over the top, and it bothers me, especially since I'm the one taking them and I don't enjoy it at all.
Gentlemen,
a few quick pictures are okay, but when it turns into an impromptu photo session, it bothers me, and I feel like we do everything for strangers online for her to rack up likes. Whenever I say something, she gets upset and emotional. How do I work through this?
Be a man.
Here's the thing. Gentlemen, if you don't have the courage to just say, fuck off, this is one of those few examples where I will recommend weaponized incompetence. Just take the worst photos you can possibly take, and then when she says the photos are bad, say, "Oh, I don't know, I don't get it. What are you doing?" Like, just take a picture of yourself instead. Don't act like you don't even know how to turn the front-facing camera on.
Or you could just be honest, you know?
Dude,
you could just be honest and say, I don't want to do this.
These guys aren't going to do that, though. These men will not do that.
Well,
there's no helping them. There's no helping them. Then they deserve what they're suffering
Then
through.
you are a camera bitch and take the picture nicely.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have the courage to do the mildest thing of being like, I can take your fucking picture.
I have to address it in the chat. Layla says, it's the skater's girlfriend effect. Yes! Okay. Men. Okay, so guys that skate will have their girlfriend film them skating. Never, ever in a million years would I ever subject anyone that I have ever dated to forcing them to come out and watch you skate. That's the worst possible thing you could do. And making them film you is undignified. It is.
So they're making their girlfriends into Instagram girlfriends?
Yes, it's the men's version of the same thing.
At least they're like, you're doing something impressive.
Activity, yes.
You want to document it. Like, that's a little bit different than just like, hey babe, can you take photos of me in a bikini?
No, it is.
So that other men can ogle me on the internet.
I get it. And skating is very different. You're setting out to accomplish something that has an end goal, meaning but even then, there is such a thing as filming the right or the wrong way, right? True. And most of the time, no offense, ladies, the girlfriend isn't going to know how to film the clip properly. That's just the sad fact of the matter. Sorry, it's not sexist, it's just true. If they don't skate, they don't understand. Sure. This also doesn't apply if the guy and the girl both skate, though I've never understood couples who do the same sport. That doesn't make sense.
I can attest to this because I'm working on that Booney skate project, and we're having a lot of discussions about the technical aspects of filming that.
Yes. Literally, just no.
I think that these guys just need to grow a pair. They really need to just stand up for themselves. It's as simple as that.
Like, seriously. And if any of you are here in chat, take this as divine inspiration of God through me to tell you, stop it. It won't get better. It's not this. There's only so long you can suck something up that is ruining your life. Like, it's the little things that add up. Don't take it.
It goes for more than just relationships, too.
Anything,
because, I have friends who we've been friends for years. There are zero pictures of us together because we're just having fun when we're together. And that's it doesn't even come across our minds.
And it depends on how active that partner is on social media. Right?
Sure.
Like, that's there's one thing. It is one thing if you take a picture for your girlfriend or your boyfriend and they post on social media once in a while. It's a whole different thing if it's the type of person where every time they go out, the first thing they think of is, how can we document this for...
Mm-hmm. Also, I think it's like a whole different beast if you're taking thirst traps of your girlfriend.
This is not
rather
the same
than
thing
just a nice photo.
Or
it's like Instagram booty pics.
Or if it's a photo of the two of you together,
totally
that's also
different.
not the same thing.
Totally different. And I think a lot of these guys, like, the same mentality comes in with guys who, allow their girlfriends to do OnlyFans or whatever. And they're like, I'm just doing this because I'm secure in my masculinity and I'm not threatened by other men looking at my girlfriend online, which is obviously just a massive, massive cope.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys, they deserve to continue suffering in silence if they will not say something.
If you have taken the photo, gentlemen, where it's your girlfriend looking back and you're holding her hand and you've never been in any of the photos, you have been destroyed. Do not do that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's true. A lot of men have just been broken down.
Like, that means
they have a broken will.
Be like before you ever post a picture of just me holding your hand, I better be in at least one of your photos.
Well, that's what they call a soft launch these
Oh,
things.
is that what that
That's
is?
a soft
It's a
launch.
soft launch, okay.
So you like subtly imply that you're in a relationship before you do the hard launch of posting their
God.
face. And there are other, people who post about, should I break up with someone if they won't post me or whatever. And at that point, I think you're just placing way too much importance on content and publicity and branding when you're just people.
Most people don't care.
I have to fast up. I was in one of those, like when I was like 24, 25 or something. It was like, there's this term in Puerto Rico, it's called jevos,
Okay.
which basically means you're dating, but you're not willing to admit that you're taking the next step. And
Is it a situationship?
I mean, I guess that's the
That's the
terms
new term.
the kids are using these days. But it was so unbecome, and it felt so rude from both of us every time, because people would be like, "Oh, are you two together?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, but no." And it's just so freaking weird to be with someone and acknowledging that you have something. It's like, yeah, well, everything but the recognition and the responsibility and the I don't know.
Why? Why exactly was it like that?
I have no idea. Honestly, if I must confess, I think it was probably 70-30 my fault.
Okay. I see.
And,
But it was a situationship.
Yeah.
Situations happen. I mean, I think that people are placing like zero importance on the meaning of marriage or getting engaged, and like way more importance on the image you project online
And
of
if I
your
can say,
relationship.
I think it's just be completely transparent. At that time, I wanted like a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife, whatever, but I don't know. It's like giving into these like social things. Is like, oh, it's much cooler to be single and having people know that you're crushing it. And it's not like your heart and your soul desires more, and you're giving in to like social pressures that no one cares about, that no one even ultimately cares about. It's so stupid.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people care. A lot of people care deeply about the images that they project.
No, but what I'm saying, like,
online,
ultimately people, like, they care about the image and the perception, but ultimately, like, people watching, the people that are perceiving you don't care because they're involved with their own thing. Is what I mean.
Yeah, people care way less about like your life.
It's
than
like
you
when
do,
you go out in
ultimately.
public and you think everyone's like, or like you do something stupid and you think everyone's looking at you. They're not. They're focusing on their own thing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we don't really matter to the people around us. What's the thing they always say? They're like, try to remember, like, you can remember every embarrassing thing you've ever done, but try to remember an embarrassing thing somebody else has done offhand, and it usually doesn't come to you. Right?
Except us, because we're incredibly good looking and we're on camera.
Exactly. All right. Let's go to the
but
Super Chats.
don't be your girlfriend's cameraman.
Correct.
If you're in that situation, nut up. Okay. Let's finish up these super chats.
Guys, we're about 20 away from another crisis party. Let's get there. Just thought I'd say that.
Okay.
It can be done.
You need to
I'm going.
make these
Where
visible.
did we leave off at?
I don't know.
BMF Nate Dogg.
Okay. He said the best song she has is an LL Cool J song that she just happens to be in.
And I guess in reference to Megan Thee Stallion?
JLo.
Oh, JLo.
Right.
Which one? I don't know. Song.
Shane H. Wilder said, was Cucky-amory and Bitchy-amory already taken?
Yes, those were already busy.
Oops. Tacti Platty said, Dane, can you tell us about your poker game? What was this? I saw this on the timeline.
Me and Tim went to the casino and I crushed some boomers and took their retirement money.
Nice. I'm sure that was deeply satisfying.
It was. Except for this one.
What?
Because like Tim tells me there's something that's called like the coffee drinking grandpas. And it's like old guys who've all their friends and their spouses died, and they go to the casinos because they're lonely. And they just want to interact with people. And so they fold every hand except for the best one, and then they'll play that one. And he was directly in front of me. He was such a sweet old man.
And you stole his money.
I didn't. I tried to, like, you can't discuss the hand. And so I'd be like, all in. I have it. Don't do it. I swear to God, every time I was with him, I was like I would have showed him, like, please don't. And he would be like, well, take it.
You walked right into that one.
One time, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't help it if I'm so freaking good.
Okay. Brett, you gotta scroll. Gordon Shumway said, in Latin America, it's common for men of means to have mistresses. The women accept it. I don't think they should.
Doesn't mean it needs a name.
Also, doesn't mean you need to label it either.
Tis common.
Shane H. Wilder said, all marriages of non-Catholics are valid, although a Catholic would need a dispensation to marry outside the faith. Otherwise, it would be invalid. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
You should, Shane, I don't know. Check out this guy, Andrew Wilson. He debates Lauren Chen about it.
Well, Andrew Wilson is Catholic.
I know.
So he's supposed to believe this.
I don't know.
That's
He makes some compelling.
teaching.
He makes some compelling arguments, and respectfully, until I see Shane make some compelling arguments, like I'm kind of sided with this guy.
Rhaegar Targaryen said, similar to Oprah, Dane is every woman.
Correct. Now I'm all bros now, but
The Rumbling.
I can be both.
The Rumbling said Jeffrey Toobin couldn't restrain himself. SMH.
True.
Pokemon's editor was actually Jeffrey Toobin the whole time.
Could be.
Shane H. Wilder said, so they all got degrees in would you like fries with that? Okay. With a minor in Starbucks studies.
Yeah.
Basically.
Poor women.
If they're so lucky.
Gordon Shumway said, somehow stats are being pushed. How many more women are getting degrees and men are left behind? We're creating an entire gender of indentured servants. Them being the men who aren't getting degrees, I assume. We got a $20 from Lamppost. He said, I'm watching Lost right now, almost done. Not sure what to watch next. Can I get 2 recommendations from each of you?
Go ahead, Mary.
Why me first?
Ladies first.
I've been singing the praises of a Christian Kane, Dean Devlin show called Almost Paradise on Amazon Prime. It's light fare. It's not very serious. It's basically a retired American DEA agent opens up a gift shop at a resort in the Philippines, and the whole show is filmed in the Philippines, and it's fun. It's lighthearted. It's good stuff. Okay. It's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
I guess if you're looking for similar to Lost, I feel like Wayward Pines.
Yes, Wayward Pines. Sadly ended on a cliffhanger, but was good. That is on Hulu.
Yeah.
So you can watch Wayward Pines on Hulu. There was also a show called there was like a couple of years there where they did like that genre of like, I'd almost call it like M. Night Shyamalan-esque television was starting to make the rounds. Oh, watch season 1 of Heroes if you never saw Heroes. That's a light commitment, and then you don't have to watch the rest of the garbage that came after that. But then again, I'm the psychopath who can just turn a show off after like 10 episodes and never look back. So depends on.
I had to do that with Westworld, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder.
Oh, well, if I could get
Sorry,
my Rex real quick. So,
oh yeah, go ahead.
I'd say my 2 favorite shows of all time are Breaking Bad and Mad Men. However, if you just like want some whimsy with a wife, you know.
Whimsy with the wife.
I confess, and I'm proud of this. I think it's your right as an American to watch shitty reality TV.
Yes.
And the shittiest reality TV that's the most engaging is the Love Is Blind one. It's absolutely insane. And if you like cooking, Final Table, I believe is the name. Really good show.
I love a good Great British Baking Show.
I love that. My wife hates it.
Really?
I love it.
Is it because she bakes and it
She's like,
frustrates her when they do something wrong?
It's too happy.
It is actually, because like American cooking shows are like everyone's crying, having mental breakdowns.
You got 30 minutes to do the most complex dish known to man.
They're like sabotaging each other and like fighting and cursing each other out. Thank you. Yeah, then on British Baking Show, they're just like, well, you could have done a better job, but
lovely
that's okay.
swirl. Yeah, I know. Final Table's great.
Oh, if you've never seen Grimm was fantastic. Grimm is on a bunch of different streaming services. I believe it's on Peacock and on Amazon Prime. Grimm is really good.
Also, Lost is dog shit, and you should feel ashamed of yourself.
Lost is not dog shit.
Okay.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Maybe if I rewatched it, I would change my mind.
The Gnostic Alien says, and The Mentalist. I'm actually, me and Olivia are watching, I'm The Mentalist all the way through right now. One of the worst main storyline conclusions you will ever see for a already fantastic show that then does the unthinkable and rebounds after it fumbles its main storyline that went 6 seasons and finishes season 6.5 through the final 7th season up very strong. So very good.
Would you just like skip everything in between?
No, you can't.
The shit sandwich.
No. So what it is like it was very clear that the main story of the show is that the main character, Patrick Jane's wife and daughter, were killed by a serial killer named Red John. And as the show goes on through the seasons, it's very clear that they had no clue how they were going to finish this story. And they literally, you could tell that they were like, who was the most famous actor that we could find in like the first 2 seasons that was in like one episode that we can then try to retroactively make it seem like they were.
That's what they did with Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
They like didn't know what they were going to do.
They didn't know what they were doing. Bruno Heller fumbled the bag big time. But once the show was rid of that storyline, it was like they were unburdened and were able to go back to just fun storytelling.
We got a 20 from Avery Ingersoll. I'm poor right now, but I enjoy your show each day. So here's my contribution. I just want to say my husband and I found Jesus and he saved us from a literal demon, from disease, infidelity, and prison. I hope people find him.
Wow. Good
Powerful
for you, man.
stuff. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I hope you fall on good times.
Okay, what was the next one? Shane H. Wilder said, making my film degree and a psych minor seems sensible.
Yeah, it really
dude.
does.
I mean, you're basically a nuclear engineer compared to the ladies.
Basically, but you know, even the nuclear engineers are going to get replaced by AI, they say.
Okay.
Hold on, this keeps...
William said, breaking, Hollywood will never be in Louisiana. The lawmakers just approved chemical castration for child diddlers.
Okay, well, there you go.
Interesting.
They'll stay in Atlanta anyways. I'm ending the poll, ladies and gentlemen, since we are running at the end of the show.
No, it was 50-50.
We'll have to wait and see. 50%? No.
No,
49%?
that's not.
Yes.
That is fake math. That is fake math. It was 50%. It was 50-50.
Democracy has
Okay, we are reviewing Acolyte. I don't care. That's fake math.
Retroactive.
Those don't add up to 100. Those don't add up to 100.
It never does.
She was like,
how about this? We can review
80 million votes my ass. 80 million votes my ass.
The first 2 episodes, and if the first 2 episodes do good numbers, we'll review the rest.
I'm literally gonna like listen to 80 million votes my ass on the way home.
You can review it yourself. I will turn the camera. I will be your cameraman so that you can record a review.
I'm sorry. In what world do 49 and 50 add up to 100?
I don't know.
Tell
in
me
what
that.
world does wanting
Decimals?
to review the Acolyte make sense? None.
Damn.
I won't accept these results.
Election denier.
I will not accept the results of this election.
We have an election denier, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy.
Okay.
You really be your own people.
We got.
Somebody says, "Is the poll broken?" No, it's always like that. It always gives uneven numbers.
Yeah, YouTube, fix this and give us our play button. What the
You
heck?
still don't have that?
We still don't have it.
That's That's disrespectful.
It is.
For the greatest podcast Monday through Friday from 3 to 5.
The greatest podcast from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in America.
There probably aren't that many.
In the world, Brett.
Okay.
In the world.
In the world.
We got a test chat from Chris Poole
It's
earlier.
not working today.
Looks
Well,
like
hopefully it
still
will
not
work
working.
tomorrow. You're down to...
Okay.
Rhaegar
Rhaegar Targaryen. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
Yes.
Grander times.
We got another one from Roma Nation, but it says it was retracted.
Thank you, Roma.
Thank you anyway. Pat the plumber said, when she asks you to take pics, you turn on the front-facing camera and take selfies.
Do it. Do it until she stops
Weaponized
asking.
incompetence,
I love it.
gentlemen.
What does this work?
Gaming Baker said, hey guys, isn't the Tyson versus Paul just Rocky Balboa?
I guess. Kind of.
What?
Not really.
Which one of them?
Because he's older, you know, and Rocky's older in the later movies.
Okay.
Wasn't the lesson of that also don't do this shit?
Also, he does. To be fair, he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Whoa,
that's...
you just spoiled it for me.
Oh my God.
Spoiler alert, maybe?
We were going to watch it
Spoiler
after.
I'm about to let you guys know. If you ever complain about a spoiler alert on a movie that's more than 3 years old, it's your own fault.
Dude, Tim does that. Tim goes to movie premieres.
I know.
And he like talks about it on IRL the same night. He's like, spoilers. Anyway, the entire plot of the show is, let me break it down for you. It goes
If you complain about not getting a spoiler alert on The Godfather, this is not my problem. If you complain about not getting a spoiler alert on Rocky, this is not my problem.
True. Okay. Shane H. Wilder said they aren't even employees; they're unpaid interns.
That is true.
Steve G88 said Dane should try stand-up comedy. I think he'd kill.
I don't think so.
No?
I think like
It's not your style?
I think I'm just funny. That's like a performative, like, oh, what's the weather kind of thing, and I don't know.
Shane H. Wilder said, Dane, I apologize. You will find out on X later.
Oh God.
That's ominous. Michael Stonecipher said, Ben's got to be crying. No go on tour.
He's like, oh my gosh, the house to myself for a while.
He was
Thank
really
goodness.
crossing his fingers that she would be out of town for a while.
Yeah, I'm with Brad the Bird in the chat. Spoiler alert on the Titanic. The boat sank. Jack dies.
You're kidding me.
Brett. Really?
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
It's called the Titanic.
Shane H. Wilder said, Dane, Canon Law 1081.1 and 1124, also Catechism section 1633 through 1637. Yeah, you're not Catholic, right?
No.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just saying that if
I was
Andrew
raised
Wilson,
Catholic, though.
if Andrew Wilson is Catholic,
He's
then
like a derivative of it, though. I don't know the name. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know either, but yeah, if he's Catholic, then he would be subject to that
I'll actually. Can you send me out Twitter? I'll genuinely read them.
Sure. Shane H. Wilder, get on that. Okay, Michael Stonecipher said Freedom Tunes need Ben's reaction to her not going on tour.
Yep.
Surico Productions said review Acolyte so I can have ragging buddies. LOL.
Should have voted more. Should have got some like sock puppet accounts and voted yes if you wanted to do that. I got on it.
This is the funny math. Yep. This is that new math that they've been talking about.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we're gonna hang out here until 5 because last week people complained about us. People complained about us going off the air at 4:58.
What are we talking about? Oh wait, I got what we were talking about. We got that tweet of yours.
What was the tweet?
What tweet?
The Art of War.
Oh yes, Mary said the Art of War is lame.
Wait, what?
She did not say that.
That one.
I will not misrepresent her. She made what I think is honestly a perfectly worded, kind of pithy tweet. If I can say so myself. Can we pull that up, or did you just tweet a hell of a lot?
I didn't. I don't really tweet a hell of a lot.
Okay. Let's brief intermission.
What is your most controversial tweet as of late?
Dicks out for Trump.
I don't know. I don't think that I really get like that edgy, but I think some people were offended about the Art of War tweet. Actually.
Okay, so the tweet is: if you like this book, The Art of War, you're a solid 115 IQ, oddly specific, perfectly respectable, and nothing to be ashamed of.
It's true.
But dude, my take is that honestly, you're kind of cooking. Like honestly, you're kind of I just want to make. The thing is, oh my God, this is a giant coat fest, and I am acknowledging this to the world, and I am 115 perfect, and it's perfectly. I think it's perfectly respectable.
And you love Art of War. I was right.
I don't love it.
Okay.
I don't love it, but I read like an abbreviated version of it, and then I started reading the longer version of it. I got bored, but it is insanely commonsensical. It's like attack when you have an advantage. And guys are like, this, oh my God, this me. But
I
also
start like convulsing.
Yeah. But there is something to be said. Honestly, I would say like 99.9% of the time. And honestly, I would include myself as like, yeah, probably 115 perfectly
It's like how
respectable.
people talk about like the book, The 48 Laws of Power.
That book is.
Yeah.
I've also listened to it when I was in DC and I was a shit-lived psychopath, and I gotta say it's a lot of commonsensical things and kind of like antisocial, ugly person things. And then I look at the physiognomy of the guy that wrote it. I'm like, yeah.
I've never read it. I just know that there's like controversy around.
It's like don't bite the hand that feeds.
Okay.
And kind of be like a sheepish.
Just like quotes that you've already seen.
$5 super chat from Shane H. Wilder. Mary's last edgy tweet was if she woke up as Taylor Swift, she would tweet the N-word. I laughed.
That'd be a good thing to do if you're Taylor Swift.
It would be a net positive for society. As
You
a
think
whole.
so?
Yes. Potatoes for Seamus said French toast celebrates Pride Month. Waffles rule.
I do.
Fake news.
Wow.
French toast all the way. French toast all the way.
I mean, we've been over this. French
Also,
toast,
like,
pancakes, waffles.
Waffles celebrate Pride Month because they have all those holes.
There we go.
There you go.
Got him.
Objectively.
Take that, you stupid waffle.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know about pancakes. Maybe they're like pansexual or something. 'Cause
Pancakes
they're
are
cooked
good.
in pans.
Pancakes are just solid, you know. It's really hard to fuck up a pancake. Actually, it's pretty easy to fuck up French toast.
Matt G says French toast transitions from bread to breakfast. Well, all right,
Wow.
then. All right. That's deep.
That's a take.
That's deep.
That's a take.
Yeah.
Wow, that's compelling.
Wow, I didn't know that.
By the way, 11 more minutes of this because you guys asked for it.
No, people get mad when you go off the. I believe in just, saying your piece and calling it a day, but people get mad when you don't stay on for the arbitrary 2-hour limit.
Right.
So we can just sit here. We can just sit
Mary,
here.
Mary has suggested in the past some type of weird modern art, postmodern thing where we just sit and don't talk for 2 hours. It's kind of like, isn't that like an interrogation technique where like the cop will come in the room and he will literally just, and the therapists will do this too, they'll sit there until the silence becomes so unbearable that you have to say something first, and it's a way of establishing superiority.
Isn't that what the spirit cooking lady does? She had like an art installation where it's two stages, so they just like stare each other in the eyes until one of them cries.
Yeah, it was the artist is present.
That was my first.
It was that one.
That was my first introduction to her. I was like, oh, this is kind of compelling, and then I was like, oh, well, she's a Satanist. I was like, oh,
yeah, that's how it usually goes. Potatoes for Seamus said, Mary, how could you do it again? I should probably tweet that about waffles.
I think I spoke to Potatoes for Seamus on the Discord. Nice fellow.
Yeah. I don't know if I could sit. Me and Mary can sit here and work in silence. I don't know if I could sit.
Can we stream us working?
That would be hilarious.
I think that would be fun.
Do it as if it was an accident. Like
you can't stream me working. It's just me having like existential crisis.
The problem is our conversations are so not YouTube friendly.
Yeah.
It would be difficult to censor.
They would be ungenuine and fake.
Yeah.
We need a sponsorship from like HBO or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Sponsorship from
And
somebody, anybody.
Really good lawyer.
Raycon, we're available.
Dude, if you know somebody who knows somebody that works at Taco Bell, come on.
If you work for Raid Shadow Legends.
Chris C says, oh, party meter is total silence. Guys, right now the crisis meter is broken today. Maybe it's taking the day off for Pride Month. I have no idea.
No, don't show me skipping Biden.
But it's...
we are $40 away from the third crisis party currently.
I would like that if you could get us to the third crisis party. The show's been doing very, very well lately, and for that, we thank you guys. The one thing that's been going really well is a lot of the segments have been doing better, which is great for reaching new people who don't always watch the show, right? Like, you've got a pretty limited audience of people who like live streams and tune into live streams every day. So being able to see the segments do better is very, very good for the channel. So thank you guys for that.
And I imagine getting better at clickbait.
And I imagine that a lot of that has to do with people sharing out links and stuff like that. So thank you.
Okay, we're behind now on the super chats.
Got
Can you scroll up?
Are we?
Yeah, we're behind. Shane H. Wilder said, I don't get mad. I just make fun of Brett. Also, waffles over pancakes. I'm from Texas, and we literally have waffle irons shaped like our state.
Well, that's weird.
Cool.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Waffle House sucks, though.
No.
It sucks.
You're just completely wrong. You're so confidently wrong. It's crazy. Right. Like, have you ever given it a chance?
Yes. And there was a fight.
In this area.
There was a fight that broke out.
In this area, though.
I mean, it was
not in the South. If you go to Waffle House in the South.
It was in the whatever where we're at.
Or if it's like in a big city.
The guy was taking my order literally as the other one was like threatening to like physically assault him. It was like on the drive from DC to New York.
Okay, so there you go. That's why.
Am I supposed to believe it's any better?
Any Waffle House in this area has always been the best experience.
Dude, you guys
I've never seen any violence.
The video game Tekken. People are requesting for Waffle House to be a background stage in the fights.
That's perfect.
Because it's famous for fights.
I've never seen it.
I've been there twice.
Somebody just mentioned that. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I've been there
Petition.
twice, and twice there were fights.
I mean, I also
Is it
enjoy
me?
I enjoy dinner and a show, so that's just me.
Okay, well.
But as long as I don't have to get involved,
A Renaissance
I'm just gonna be in the
lady.
corner enjoying my meal. Corey Anderson said, "I'm hungry. What's for dinner?" Waffle House. Tacty Platty said, "Show Dane Skibbity Biden."
Don't.
No.
No, don't. I don't
Have you
want
already seen it?
parts of it? I don't want
Okay. Potatoes for Seamus said, "Mary, people want to see your feet."
No.
Well, too bad.
Like, I know that. It's a fact, but they're not going to see
Do you
them.
get harassed about your feet a lot?
I'm a woman on the internet.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
As am I, but I don't.
iVulture75 said, "Brett, where are you going to put the play button if it ever comes? Do you have a spot picked out on the wall behind you?"
I don't think I would hang it up there. I don't know where I would put it.
We had an agreement
Well, we're gonna
though,
get-
that we're going to get a hot knife
Cut it in half.
and cut it
We
in
should
half.
do cake or not with the freaking play button and have it not be cake.
Oh, don't cut it. Why
Yes.
why
Well, you can get more than one. Like if
Well,
it's
you can't get one apparently.
like
We can't even get, we can't even
but the
get
hope
one.
would be that we would each get one, and I don't know where I would.
Beggars can't be choosers,
Yeah.
Brett. Okay, we're going to get one and we're going to be happy.
Maybe.
Maybe. That's a big maybe. We need Tim to like tell you
Use his
to.
Well, I just
Call
saw
them out.
Michaela Peterson got her her $1 million gold button. It took a year, she said.
Million subscriber, not dollar.
What did I say? $1 million.
Dollar.
She got her 1 million subscriber gold one. Took a year.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Well, it'll happen eventually, I hope.
I think
We can like print out a picture of one. And
that would be
pretend-
really funny.
Pretend that it's real.
Well, we'll just take. I think one of Tim's silver buttons is still downstairs.
We'll steal his silver button and just put our name on it.
Put our name on it. That's
That'll work.
At one point, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if you can order one for the recurring co-host. Like, I'm quite proud of this show as well." And then it'd be like, "Oh, well, these fuckers even haven't gotten theirs."
Yeah.
Nope.
We are about $30, $25 away from Crisis Party number 3.
I love
Ladies and
Denny's.
gentlemen, this show is made possible by viewers like you.
Pat the Plumber said, "Mary, no, they don't." I don't know what
I don't know
that
what they're
was
talking
referring
about.
to. Potatoes for Seamus said, "Dane, we love you."
I love you too, man.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Waffle House over IHOP over Denny's." Mainly
No.
because every time I've been in a Denny's, I never got served and ended up walking out.
I love,
Oh, really?
I love Denny's.
That's got
Denny's
me too. Me too. Fist bump.
sucks.
Denny's.
I love Denny's. Oh my god, some of the best times of my life has
They
been in
can't
Denny's.
even cook hash browns right.
I love Denny's.
They're always a disappointment.
have you gone to? What area?
Whatever. I've been to plenty of Denny's. Plenty of Denny's. The Rumbling said, "I find it funny that black people don't care about culturally appropriating Japanese culture, but upset that they made the black guy gay."
Oh, in
Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed?
Is it the black people who are mad about him being gay?
No, it was everybody was
really
mad
not.
about.
He's a black gay samurai.
I mean, they implied that he could be possibly gay
It was the most.
if you wanted him to be gay.
It was the weirdest worded statement I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what's her name? The Harry Potter writer be like, "Oh, Hermione is like a pansexual black dyslexic."
They're like they're going to
woman."
explore a variety of relationships. And
I'm not
this and
gay,
this, yeah.
but $20 is $20. That's what he said.
That's exactly.
Corey Anderson said, "No feet. We want to see Mary's elbows."
They're like $20 in this feudal economy. Are you kidding me?
Elbows.
My elbows are visible quite often, so that ship has sailed.
I'm on the verge of just saying we hang out until we get to Crisis Party number 3. We've been on a 3 Crisis Party streak for quite some time now on this show, which is a good thing because it helps keep the show viable.
And I'm here.
So we're not leaving until
Are
we
you
get
trying to
that
say I'm
third
not
crisis
worthy of
party.
3?
Yeah.
Get it to 6.
I mean,
You're
come on.
worth it, Queen.
I am.
I've been seeing these. So my new favorite. I always send everyone the no, he didn't say this AI covers of people talking, and it's all these clips of LeBron James as if he's one of Hitler's advisors talking about World War II
Can we react to
war
these?
strategy.
Can we please react to these live?
You should one day. It should be like the 1,000th episode or something. We should go through the memes Brett sends me, and the ones
I don't
send
send
him.
you memes anymore. You send me memes.
You sent me one this morning.
Which one did I send
Are
you?
you like? Am I like your situation?
Is it the one? Is it the
where
one
you're just denying me?
I don't.
I'll show memes right now. I got receipts. They're from Brett Dasovic.
I mean, I used to send you a lot more. I don't really.
I know you don't love me. What's up with that?
Days.
Well, where's the memes, right?
Sounds like a
He gave up on you.
personal problem.
We got potatoes for Seamus. Mary, when's your Taco Bell wedding? Never.
Oh, I sent you the Andrew Tate having Severus Snape's baby.
Okay.
And,
Normal.
And other such things that.
Shane H. Wilder said, it wasn't just once. I've been to Denny's 5 different times, and neither I nor anyone with me got served.
Maybe
I've
it's
given up
you.
on ever eating there.
I sent.
They don't want your money.
I sent Mary this one.
They're in it for the love of the food.
I sent Mary this one earlier. Let me pull this one up.
This one
here.
what?
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for this one. I'm excited.
No, I didn't. No, not. I did send. It's not the Taylor Swift one. I have that one.
Oh,
too,
damn
but
it. Okay.
I got that one too, but this one here.
I don't know what this one is.
With him. He can't even walk. Yeah? Well, I can. And I'm walking away from you. Actually, let's roll.
Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
Why are you hanging?
Is that a real PSA?
Dude, I watched White Chicks yesterday with my wife, and there's like a ride along where all the white girls are saying the N word.
Yeah.
And the basic
We
is
used to be a country.
Yeah, it's like no one's around. Who's gonna be offended? And they all just start beep.
We used to be a
We used to be a
proper
country. Well, I mean, the way Twitter's going, we're getting back to becoming a country eventually.
Until Eminem says the bundle of sticks word, I don't think we're back.
I mean,
unfortunately,
a lot of people have taken his mantle.
There was also the Taylor Swift one that I sent.
We reached the third party, by the way.
Oh, did we? Okay, manual today. Here we go.
Pre-dancing.
Is it working? Yay!
I had the Taylor Swift one for that we were gonna use as a cringe.
I hit the microphone.
But here's this one, ladies and gentlemen. You can listen to this Taylor Swift song that I will refresh.
Guess what's the tea? Travis got a bump and it's all because of me. I got Travis knocked up. This ain't no joke. Love turns tables and I seated a football pro. Boyfriend with a belly so round, craving ice cream. Oh, the rumors abound, absurd and funny. We're the talk of the town.
The voice is spot on.
I can assure you, my memes are way better.
You're not even gonna be able to tell.
Dane's memes are better.
You're not even gonna be able to tell the difference anymore
1,000%.
soon.
Good old-fashioned memes.
There's more super chats there.
Okay. Can you scroll up? I think we're a little behind. Okay. Mr. Joker is the next one. He said, "Where are the red Astro Boy boots, Mary?"
That is true.
I have them. I don't know how we can show them. I guess I'll bring them tomorrow since you asked. I'll bring them tomorrow. We'll show them on the PTZ.
Okay.
Miss Ray said, favorite fast food place and what's your go-to order? Anyone? We're all gonna pretend we don't eat fast food now.
I'm just trying to guess which was my favorite.
I don't.
Let's Chipotle. Like
no.
Is Sheets considered fast food? Because that would be the one.
Up,
we got a
That's the one I
$20
eat the
from
most.
Francisco Sanchez Jr. Take my money.
Thank you, Francisco.
Gas
Gladly.
station food is your number
I mean,
one?
Sheets does count as fast food.
It's the one I eat the most. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
What's your go-to order?
Sub?
Wrong. It's the tacos.
No, it's the,
incorrect.
Gas station tacos?
Yeah.
It's
Wow,
the
you guys
it is the
degenerate.
The meatball.
No, I don't eat them. He eats them.
Yes,
He's obsessed.
I
with them.
do eat them. No, not anymore. Oh, we've been going back to Taco Bell now. So.
Oh, thank God.
As you should.
Well, the road opened up, so there's one more accessible now over here. So.
And for me, it's Taco Bell. Obviously, for me, it depends. I usually just get a Crunchwrap combo. Yeah. What about you?
I'm struggling between two, guys. If I go to Taco Bell, I get 2 cheesy gordita crunch. If I'm feeling frisky, I get some fries. Or Chick-fil-A, and it's the spicy chicken sandwich, the combo, and 10-piece of nuggets. No,
Nice.
6-piece. I don't know, something.
Yeah,
Nuggets.
and you have to get the mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A, or you're not.
Never
doing
had
right.
it.
It's good. It's good stuff. Carnell said, I sent in a super chat last time you both were on Timcast calling for action about the YouTube play button. Unfortunately, Tim never got to it because of the Elijah Schaefer back and forth.
I'm still, rumor has it I'm still waiting to say something on that episode.
You're still sitting there.
There was a point where they switched to it. It was like, oh, Brett's here. Yeah, look at Brett.
We remember.
Remember Brett?
But yeah, we've got to do something about this.
Even
Corey
Mary
Anderson-
was like pretty quiet that episode. She was like,
Brett talked more than I did, actually.
yeah. But the part that I saw that was famous was like the endorsement.
The endorsement?
I don't know if it was the endorsement, but they make you pick sides, and you were like,
oh, right. Where I was
guy.
like, I don't know. I think I'm on Elijah's side,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
like, tee
Foreign affairs are hard.
They are hard.
Like, I don't know. Why are you forcing me to have a take?
Yeah.
Corey
that was a shitty
Anderson
position.
said mild, hot, fire, or Diablo sauce.
This may seem freaking weird, but I never had a Diablo, but I should order it. I love hot sauce.
Diablo always, or else you're a goo goo gaga baby.
I always get the hot one because I thought that was the hottest from the name hot, right? Yeah, but apparently there's a Diablo one. I gotta try it.
Pat the Plumber said, either you skipped my super chat or I'm losing my hearing, but it isn't fun making people mad, Brett.
What do I have to do with that?
What
The hell
super
you-
chat are you talking about?
It's Brett's fault.
What the hell are you talking about? What super chat is he talking about?
I literally don't know.
He said, Mary,
Jesus.
no, they don't.
Yeah, I don't know what
To
that
what?
means. Okay, moving on.
Listen, you're deaf, and keep your sass down.
All right.
Okay,
yeah,
we're caught up.
We're caught up. All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please? And remember, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Dane, let everyone know where they can find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter at Dane Fontenau. I shall spell that out for you. DaneFont.
Perfect. Mary.
Great. You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, if you want to follow me, Instagram and Twix, at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify, if you would prefer to listen rather than watch. And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix, at popculture_show, Facebook, and not TikTok, at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram, at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.